episode 20 of our podcast. I'm Alex, one half of the Sober Experiment.
And I'm Lisa, the other half.
How are you? I'm so happy to see your face.
Oh, I was actually looking at your smiley face then thinking, are you going to talk? Are you just going to keep smiling? This is audio, should we say so?
I don't like it. I don't like not being able to see you.
Oh, I've quite enjoyed the rest of it.
Oh, well, screw you then. I'll see you another time. I'm off.
You can't yet. We've got a cracking interview coming up.
I'm getting excited for today's. Are you?
Yeah, I really am excited for today's. So are we going to introduce now or?
Might as well tell everybody who we're going to be interviewing now you've mentioned it.
Yeah, otherwise it's like a top secret, isn't it? Like you've got to wait and see. So
give you 3 guesses.
Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. I'm not even going to say who it is, right? So we met this lady.
Oh, you've already narrowed it down to 50%.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, we met her at one of our friends' first sober birthday parties, didn't we?
We did.
And
she's a singer. Yeah, she's a singer, songwriter.
Yeah, she is a singer-songwriter.
She recently went to Vegas, I think.
This is shit. This will be the worst introduction she's ever had. Shall we just say who it is?
It's Lucy Spraggan and we're well excited.
Yay! You know, we've been waiting for this for ages because for numerous reasons we've had to kind of postpone it, and it might have taken a global pandemic to get her onto our show. But we've finally done it.
Here she is.
Hey.
Hi, Lucy.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, you all right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, actually. I've been walking the dog. There's just me and Olivia at home. Bethany moved into her new place like just before the lockdown. And Ben's been at his girlfriend's, so it's just been me, Olivia, the dog, cat, fish. Olivia's routine is horrific. I'm not a good teacher, so I've not been doing all this homeschooling that I've seen so much about on Facebook. But yeah, I'm doing all right, actually. I know people are struggling today. I can tell from social media that today people seem to be a little bit more down and thinking. I think the reality's setting in a little bit. What do you think?
So. I think so. What about you, Lucy? How are you coping? Because obviously whenever we see you on Instagram, you're always out and about. You must just feel like a caged animal.
Yeah, I am. Well, I am out and about a lot, like in general. And it's actually been quite nice to just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't let me have a choice to whether or not I'm out and about. I'm just like always, I'm an extrovert, and like I spend a lot of time with people all the time. And so I don't really have a choice. So to kind of be taken back a notch, that's been really interesting. But for now, it's all right. And like you say, I run a lot. So as long as all those knobs out there that keep going out for no reason stop doing that, then everyone will be able to exercise still. But there are some countries at the moment where you can't even leave for that now.
I dread to even think.
I have a friend in France, and she was saying literally they're lucky they've got a balcony, because you're not even allowed out your front door unless it's to walk the dog or go to the shop. That's it.
Yeah, my friends in New York, that's it too, you know. It's just... And we've got a choice, and people are going to get that taken away from us, I think.
No, we keep not joking, but we have tried to make light of it on occasion, haven't we? And said that Boris has grounded us and things like that. But
it's mental, really, because some people just don't get the full, like, the gravity of the situation. It's like it's huge, and to even put yourself at that risk is huge. To go out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
definitely.
it's selfish
culturally,
as well.
we think we're invincible, don't we? We think we're well hard. We're not.
We do.
We do think we're well hard, but I think it is human nature, because you always think with anything, you'll be one of the 3 in 4, or you'll be one of the lucky ones. You don't ever see risk associated with yourself till it happens to you, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, I'm doing all right anyway.
Sorry?
I'm doing all right anyway. I'm keeping fit.
Well, that's good. And what about your music? Because that was like reaching a real pinnacle just prior to this. I mean, you'd been to Vegas and Australia.
Yeah. My Australian tour just got cancelled. It's supposed to be this month. But as soon as this stuff sort of started rearing its head, I knew that was going to be out of the question. So that wasn't too much of a big thing. Like, luckily, my UK tour is later on in the year, because to shut a tour that size down would be, I've seen people having to do it. It's a nightmare. But festival season is dead. But like it's just a thing. It's just what's I'm releasing an album this year, so it just means more time writing that.
Yeah. So you are just switching your activities to make it.
I'm still not doing anything. I can't do that.
Yeah. We've said we're trying to fix the nets at the moment, aren't we, Lisa?
Yeah, I think it's a really good time to do that. For a lot of people, and it doesn't matter really what business you're in, it's a good time, like they used to say, the fishermen, when there were no fish, they'd spend the time fixing the nets. So we've been kind of using that, and I got that off my mum, that analogy.
I love that analogy.
but it's true. So yeah, we've been fixing our nets and doing all the things that you wouldn't have normally done. And I've just really... I know it might change, but I'm a bit like you, Lucy. I've enjoyed just stopping for a while. And, there's nothing we can do at this moment about this situation. So just learning to be, I think.
That's advice for me, Lucy. I know
learning to be.
Because I'm a nightmare. I hate it. I just feel suffocated. I feel trapped. I hate it.
I flip-flop between, but most of the time I feel good. So, something that it's really, I'm a Amazon Prime whore. Like, I'm so bad for it all the time. I'll get this and bam, and I just do it. And now, because I'm really conscious of, these delivery drivers are working their arses off, and they're delivering things that people need. And I have this instinctive, I'll just go on there, and I'm like being so much more conscious about, I don't need that. Or, Morrison's and Aldi and all the websites, the online delivery stuff, that's just rammed. You can't get anything delivered. My local butcher, who I went to a couple of weeks before this all kicked off, he delivers within 48 hours, and it's local, and I know it is, and it's like really changed a lot for me, actually, already.
It's nice, isn't it? I think that I've been using like the local veg shops and things. It's kind of going back in time, but with all the luxuries of still being in 2020. Yeah.
Let's forget this blackout that everyone's on about.
No, don't say that.
What's that?
Some conspiracy theory about a blackout that might happen on internet.
Oh, what? Because all the bandwidth is gone.
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. I can't watch any more conspiracy theories. I've sent myself crazy. I've just had to stop. You know what I do want to talk to you about, Lucy, though, and especially obviously we want to talk about this anyway, but being sober at this time. I saw on your Instagram post the other day, is it like, are you 8 months sober now? Which is amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling about being sober right now?
It's there's not one point where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a beer. That's just I can't imagine. The thing that I've got rid of with me was this like constant anxiety that I had, that I've always had because I've always drunk since I was like 12. So throughout my entire life, I've been plagued by this anxiety that I just thought was part of me, part of my personality, part of my functioning brain. And when I stopped drinking, I was like, oh. And all I can think about is like waking up hungover to this every day.
Yeah.
Like, no, I couldn't.
It'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
It would be Groundhog Day. And you're not in control of your emotions. And I just wouldn't be able to do. I know I wouldn't be able to deal with it. And there are times where you're like, oh, because I got a new HDMI cable for my PS4 today, because I used to play a lot of PlayStation, and I used to sit and drink whiskey and play on my PlayStation. And you know, there's those things that you do,
yeah,
where you do something and you go, oh, well, no, I don't want to do that, but like that would be good. I have those moments, and obviously, you know, when you're bored,
yeah,
the best cure for boredom that was ever invented is alcohol.
Yeah, because
exactly.
Boring.
Yeah, and it's the reason most people drink. They don't know it, but it's the reason most people drink, because stuff is so boring. Like a party that you go to, if it's boring, you'll have a few drinks and it gets fun. Well, fun.
Yeah.
But if you go to a party that's mint, you don't have to be drunk. You can just be like, this party's mint.
At what point do you think you realise that, Lucy, from stopping drinking? Because I know when you are drinking, it's just natural, isn't it? Like you said, from the age of being 12, it's what we did it, didn't we, Alex? Exactly the same. So at what point did you think, you know what, this party's genuinely just a bit shit and I don't need to drink to make it fun? Or this party's mint. When was that? Did you realise?
Well, like I was such like booze culture, like I was in it. And like I bought a camper van, and I love my camper van. I go fishing in it, I stay in it and stuff. But I realised that I bought a camper van so I could go places and stay there because I was pissed. Yeah. It didn't matter where I went. I love my van, but that's how I spent a fortune on that. And that was what that was for.
And I bet you didn't realise at the time at all, did you?
I was thinking about it the other day and I thought, oh yeah, it's just so I could go to a pub and sleep in a car park rather comfortably. Not like in a lonely way, but just, you know, like stay wherever and not feel enclosed in somebody else's house. But I went out on this rampage. My life had got to a very strange, like, meeting point of itself. And I was drinking, like, every day, not waking up and drinking, just being like, I'll have a beer, take the edge off. Yeah. And then I came home from a festival and I went straight out to this festival, like, as a punter. That was actually in my backfield. It's a big one. And I got so wasted trying to make it fun. I got absolutely smashed trying to make it fun. And instead, I got so smashed that I made it awful for myself. And there was so much going on in my life that I was all just a nightmare, complete nightmare. I smashed the bloody television. And like, woke up that morning and I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this anymore. And that was the 28th of July.
Really?
Is that like your deciding point then? So from that point, you didn't have another one?
No. I woke up and I was just like, can I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this shit. I'm fucking done.
Were you like, you said you was drinking a lot. Were you an everyday drinker then, or were you a binge drinker? Or
at that point, I was drinking every day, but probably not even every day, but it was festival season, so it's like midsummer. That means I'm doing 2 or 3 festivals every weekend with probably 2 travel days. And then, so that means like 4 days of being with my band. We got a rider, it's got beer on it, it's got whiskey on it. You'll be up in the middle of nowhere in Scotland, so you go to a pub. And then when I was in America, because I was on tour for like 13 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was it was like America, UK, America, Europe, UK, and then festival season. And I've always been a binge drinker. So like get absolutely ratted.
Yeah.
But I was definitely using alcohol as not even a coping mechanism. It was so that I could be that horrible person that I was being at the time without caring.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was just being.
Was it to numb out your feelings then?
Oh, looking back on it now, yeah, it was to enable me to be a different person that didn't care.
Right.
Because I was in such a horrible headspace. I just kept having to stop thinking, have a beer, take the edge off. And even one beer, I'd start panicking. Oh God, what I've started thinking again. I'll go and have a drink.
So are you done now? Is that it? You won't go back? You've stopped drinking?
In my mind, yeah. Like there might be one day when I wake up the same way that I did back then.
Yeah.
And go, right, I'm going to drink again. But for the life of me and for my foreseeable, I can't imagine that, especially with fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what fitness does for me. And people always assume that like if you're into fitness and you're sober that you're probably quite boring, but I'm definitely not.
No, you're not boring, and we can vouch for that because we've been out with you. You're definitely not boring.
You do think that, though. People do think that. Everywhere, when I first stopped drinking, and I'm weird, me, because I love telling people that I don't drink. I'm like the proudest sober person in the land, right? So I can't wait for people to mention alcohol so I can say, oh, I don't drink. And I don't know why. I don't know why I do it.
Me and Siobhan have a joke about that like you get in a taxi and he's like, where are you going? And you're like, can I go to the train station? I'm actually sober. So...
What is it about that? Because I do it as well, find an opportunity. The other day I went into my corner shop. Well, it wasn't the other day because I've been isolating for 2 weeks. So just before the full lockdown, when everybody was sort of panic buying, and I've gone into the corner shop for some toilet rolls because he told us there's no shortage of toilet rolls. So we were like, get your toilet rolls. On my way out, I spotted 4 Heineken Zeros in his fridge and I thought I'll have them because I'm not going to be going out now. I'll get them. So I picked them up, went to the counter, and I was like shoving them in his face, like, look at me, here's my Heineken Zeros. And he went, I was dead pissed off then. He went, you do know there's no alcohol in them, don't you? And I was like, yes, I do. And I thought to myself, well, in fact, I didn't just think it. I got home and I said to my husband, do you know he just warned me that there's no alcohol in this drink? Surely you should be saying to people who buy like Heineken normal, there's alcohol in that, and it's just
yeah. You do know this stuff might make you into a raging knobhead, don't you?
Yeah, they should have warnings.
Warning me. It's warning me. You do know that this is. You might as well be drinking water here, love. Yeah,
I think the reason that you tell people is because you want them to ask. Because I know this. People don't like hearing this either, but you often feel really enlightened and really privileged to be sober, I think.
Yeah.
So when you tell people you're sober and they ask you questions about it and you're trying, it's a bit like a religion. You stand with leaflets in the high street like, hello, I'm sober. Hello, I'm sober.
It is.
I think it's just, you get so many benefits, don't you, Lucy? What have you enjoyed about being sober then so far?
I think the mental clarity happened from my first month. I had physical withdrawal from alcohol.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know at the time. I was just like, is this what being sober feels like? Because if it is, I'm not doing it. My skin was like, I just felt horrible. I felt it was awful. It was awful. I couldn't even have somebody sit next to me or touch me. It was just like
really
so intense, and all these feelings. That was the hardest thing. Was I started feeling things.
Yeah,
and I was like, what is this, and what am I supposed to do with this? Because here, someone has a baby, let's go and have a drink, or somebody dies, oh, let's go and have a drink, or like, oh, I feel really happy today, I'm going to have a drink.
Yeah.
I feel really sad, I'm going to have a drink. So instead of being sad, we have a drink. And instead of even being happy, we have a drink.
Yeah.
So I started feeling happy, and I was like, what the fuck what is this?
Yeah.
And that was really hard. But then I started really loving that and being like you can enjoy things, or you can feel saddened by things, but it's actually a massive privilege to be able to feel in that capacity, I think.
Yeah, it is. And it's very different, isn't it? It's a really, because I'm the same as you, and we talk about this a lot, Lisa, and how you really feel the feels, we say. You feel the feels.
Yeah.
It's like, it can be incredibly painful, but it can also be incredibly rewarding depending on what end. But you know what? I'm actually starting to this sounds sadistic. I don't enjoy being unhappy. That's not true, but I'm enjoying not being happy, because now I know the difference between what real happiness is and what real sadness is. Whereas before, I think I was pretty flat all the time.
Yeah. Well,
do you belly laugh now? Do you belly laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was belly laughing on the phone to my mate earlier. Like I laugh all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to say it either. I'm funnier. And I make people laugh more, because I always used to think I was well funny, but I just used to like throw myself downstairs to make people laugh, which I'd probably still do now, actually. But I'm smarter and I'm faster and I'm more thoughtful. So then the stuff that I say it correlates better with the conversation, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you can keep up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And take an interest in people. I found that I just find people a little bit more interesting, and I'm not as afraid if I don't find somebody interesting to kind of move away from them and think, you know what, they're just not my type of person.
You told me I was boring today.
No, I didn't. You took that the wrong way, Alex, and we'll discuss that later. She was mourning, and then she said, I'm going to stop mourning now. So I was like, good, because it's getting really boring.
I do think that actually that truthfulness is a vibe, isn't it? Like,
good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually something that I found, that I was just, not just become more truthful, but what would you say, like stronger? Yeah, like, you know, with my opinions, I'd always hide them before, and I'd be like, I was a people pleaser, I think. And since stopping drinking, I don't know whether you found this or not, I'm kind of like more honest about, I didn't really like that you said that, or that what you just said upset me a little bit. Whereas I wouldn't have done that before. I'd have got mad inside, and then I'd have drank about it, and then I'd have slagged her off to my mate.
I do think that is a thing. I really do. And I think the reason that is a thing is because I've gone from being the person who's like, I still talk all the time, I write chatterbox, I don't shut up. But I also give more people more time to speak, because I'm not like just oblivious.
Yeah.
And then, so you have more time to assess what somebody has said. So the reason that you're more truthful is because you actually are listening, which you never did before, because I would always just be waiting for my turn to talk. So then, because you've heard you've actually heard them, and you like process stuff, and then you're like, that sort of pissed me off a bit, actually, that you said that. I didn't really like that. Where I would have been a dickhead somewhere, not listening.
Yeah, that is so true.
It is true. I've never thought of it like that before. That is really true, because I'm the same. I've always been in the conversation and just like saying what I want instead of listening to other people, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say yeah then. I was like, no.
She's like, I don't know. I've
Don't ask me. Can I ask you something practical?
Yeah.
Like a few of my friends and me, I'm not musical like you musical, but I am fairly musical, and I do a lot of certainly singing around the house. My singing voice has improved tenfold since stopping drinking. Now, as a professional, please tell me that's not just me and that you felt that.
So I had to get private healthcare because of the issues that I was having with my throat.
Right.
ENT is no throat. Yeah. my Mr. Goswami, the doctor, looked down my throat and said, your voice box and the top of your throat is like a cobbled street. He said it's just indented, it's damaged badly. He said it's red raw, and that's from acid reflux. So you got acid hitting the back of your throat all the time, so you need to work out what it is that's doing that to you. So me being me, I was like, it's spicy food. It's cheese. It's all this stuff. It's gluten. And I was taking the omeprazole, which is linked to bloody brain issues, like pantoprazole, I think it was called, and all. It's linked to like early dementia, these drugs for this stuff that I was trying to sort out. And then I stopped drinking, and I don't get voice fatigue. I did a 36-date tour sober, and
wow,
didn't have a single sore throat. Normally I'm on voice rest every single day before I play the show, and then afterwards. But then afterwards I'd be getting smashed, and so yeah, I was blown away. I had better pitch, better control, to the point where people were saying, you know, what's changed? And it was the fact that I don't drink. So yes.
I'm so glad that I've actually had that confirmed from somebody who knows the stuff, Lisa, because I've been saying it to you for ages, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. To be fair, I think mine's improved a little bit. Olivia said it was quite good when we harmonised the other night together.
I love that you've been quarantine harmonies.
We are. All the things we're doing to entertain ourselves. I want to ask you, so I could ask you loads of questions actually, Lucy. There's two things. I want to talk about...
Don't be so greedy, take your turns.
I know, I don't know which one to ask first. I'm going to ask you firstly about song Be Your Fear.
Yeah.
So I've actually heard your songs because my 14-year-old Olivia is like a massive fan. She's upstairs. She can't believe I'm talking to you, but she's too shy to even say hello anyway. But you know when you wrote the song Be Your Fear, like that song says, I played it to my mum in the office, you know, I was like, you've got to hear this song because it says everything. Did it click to you at that point what alcohol was actually doing?
No.
It's mad, isn't it?
And the irony of being sober. And like, I'm going to have to play that song for the rest of my life, probably.
Yeah, you are.
And the irony, I look at it in such a different way. Like, that was the 4th most watched video in the world in 2012.
Wow.
Yeah. And looking at that now, what I was saying, the reason that people loved it is because everybody relates to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many of us are like kind of ruining our lives?
We just don't have that switch.
It's funny. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like you said, we think it's funny, don't we? And we just don't flick the switch of it is actually ruining our lives, and we laugh about it to make ourselves feel better about the fact that we're ruining our lives because that's easier.
I had a feeling you'd ask me about that, and I was thinking about it. Well, because I was thinking about it, like what the answer would be. And at that point in my life, I've been arrested multiple times. I've been in fights. I'd had my head kicked in. I'd got in trouble in all kinds of places. I'd fallen out with family, and it was still like, I just wrote this, and everyone's like, oh my God, that's so you. Like, everything in there is like something that I'd done, and alcohol's so much my identity that I built a career on a song about alcohol.
Yeah.
So
you'll have to write a new one about like drinking tales and speaking the truth or something.
Well, I was thinking about it's like last night I told you I loved you, woke up and said I love you because I meant it, because I said it to you so.
And then did you think, you know what, no, I'm not going to do that then?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's going to be a big audience for that. But
we'd listen.
There is a song called Sober on the new album, which is I wrote when I was 2 weeks sober.
Oh,
And
right.
that's how I feel still. So, yeah.
So, when's the new album out?
It should be coming out November time, but everything's just a bit, who knows when you can get into a studio. But there's a lot of references to being sober on there.
Brilliant. I'm glad you're spreading the word, Lucy. It needs people like you to show that it is cool, because I think people do, like you said before, they think you're boring or it's uncool, and I just think it's so good to have somebody like yourself that has such a platform to be able to say, actually, it's really cool and it can still be fun and amazing.
Yeah. Well, my mum is, I think she must be 6 months sober.
That was my next question. So sorry, Alex, we're going to have to go into this because that were the two questions, the beer fear and your mum, because my mum is sober too, and she's like 18 months sober, and it's been the best thing for me ever having my mum on the same journey. We laugh together. So how are you finding it with your mum?
Yeah, amazing. Like, we get on better than we ever have. And like Mother's Day, I sent her a big dry drinker package. I think I sent her some beers and some wines. And yeah, I did. And I found this Mother's Day card that it was like, you know, those old fashioned pictures, and then it's got the quote underneath. And it was like, she was disgraced that the present that her daughter had bought her this year, and it was in the picture she's holding a non-alcoholic wine.
That's brilliant.
And so it was really ironic because, like, I bought her a load of non-alcoholic wine for Mother's Day, and she loved it because it's great. It's like, that's another part of sobriety that I love is discovering all different kinds of non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to try that red wine that you had on your Instagram the other night with your dinner, because it looked quite realistic, that one.
The red wine, I'm like a bloody connoisseur now. I swear to God, I'm like obsessed. I love the beers. One of the best flat tire is it called? I'll have to do a list to put on the notes.
Yeah, that would be great.
But red wine can be a bit fruity.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with it. But I had a Chardonnay from the same company, from the dry drinker, that when you ever drink something and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, and you've got to go and check the label. Yeah. So the Chardonnay is like, would never have drunk Chardonnay, but it tasted like, and their fizz, they do a brut. I can't remember what they're bloody called, but the champagne brut sort of one was incredible.
Oh, I might have to try that. I've not tried.
Get us that list together, Lucy.
Dry drinker are delivering as well. I think it's a 48-hour delivery at the moment. So.
Oh, brilliant! I bet you don't drink as much, though.
No.
So we are shortly about to finish, but before we do, you've got your new clothing line out. You told the people today there was 29 left because you've taken one for yourself.
Yeah.
And you've got your tour hopefully going to be reinstated. You've got your album out. What else is going on, and how can people find you?
You can find me on all the social media vibes at L Spraggan. There's a lot going on, but the world is at a standstill right now. So I'm floating around writing and possibly taking notes about this strange experience that's going on.
Brilliant.
A song out of this, Lucy, definitely.
And ironically, again, on the last album, there's a song called The End of the World. So,
Lucy, don't say things like that. I get freaked out by these things.
It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
It's been so lovely catching up with you. When this is all over, we'll have to get together in Manchester and get out with Siobhan again.
I really want to go to the Oxford Road Brewdog in London.
Oh, yeah.
It's completely dry Brewdog. It hasn't got any alcohol in it, so it's just sober people in there.
Yeah. Is that the one where they had karaoke that night?
Yes.
Yes, that would be good.
We're hopefully going to go down to London after this to Sober Dave's event. So we'll give you a shout, and maybe the four of us can go down together, and we can go and make a special stop off at Brewdog.
That would be amazing. give me a shout. Thanks very much for having me on.
Oh, thanks so
thank
much,
you,
Lucy. It's been
Lucy.
lovely. Thank you.
I will see you later.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.